UMG is giving copyright strikes to a lot of reaction channels. So here's what fair use really means in 2025. You thought fair use protected your reaction videos. Tell that to Brad and Lex or Knox Hill, who almost lost their entire channels over their reaction videos. UMG is striking creators left and right, and here's what nobody's telling you about how fair use really works. What's up, fam? Once again, it's B. Vaughn here with Recreate Music TV, and today we're diving headfirst into the storm that's shaking up the creator world. If you're running a reaction channel or even thinking about it, I thought about it once. I thought about having a reaction channel where I react to music. I don't know now, right? There's some things happening with UMG that's sparking a lot of things happening, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. And there's some things that you need to understand. Fair use is not a safety net. It is a legal defense. So right now, Universal Music Group is targeting creators across YouTube using DMCA takedowns and copyright strikes to remove reaction content, even if it includes commentary and criticism of that video, right? Which is one of the elements that you have to incorporate when it comes to, doing reaction videos. So in this video, I'm going to break down what fair use actually is, why it doesn't always protect you, and most importantly, how to fight back and stay compliant in 2025. Let's start with the facts, right? A video published just 6 days ago, probably a little more than 6 days ago, ever since I sat down and wrote this script, probably about 10 days ago, right? It's talking about widespread takedowns and strikes. Now, I'm not putting it in this video, right? Because I don't know, they may come down because I put their video in my video. They may do a copyright strike on my video because their video has a copyright strike against it by somebody else. I'm not going through that. But in this video, they were talking about creators were reporting that their reaction videos were being taken down by UMG, right? And so they gave a whole bunch of analysis. They gave a whole bunch of examples of what was taking place within the industry from reaction videos and how these organizations, these big organizations, are sending out copyright strikes and DMCA takedowns, which is so crazy. And another recent upload that I saw was about 6-7 days ago highlights that nearly the entire reaction community is under threat, with automated UMG claims sweeping through channels. And trust me, it is happening in mass. Type in, you can go to Google or to YouTube and type in copyright strikes or reaction video copyright strikes or UMG copyright strikes or takedown notices. You're going to see a lot of videos and people talking about it. And I just thought it was interesting because how does this really impact the independent music creators? Because a lot of these individuals doing it are independent musicians, creatives, entrepreneurs, etc. Knox Hill, he has like 1.5 million subscribers, right? He's a well-known reactor. He creates a lot of reaction videos. I watched a video where he talks about his channel just received over the amount that YouTube allows, which is 3, of copyright strikes. So he's in danger. As of yesterday, well, today's Saturday, this was Friday, he talked about his video channel was probably going to be taken down. So I need to go back and actually see, did they really take his YouTube channel down? I'm gonna find out, right? There was another viral video just a couple of days ago that demonstrates UMG striking, these strikes are sweeping out people's entire channels are being taken down, right? I saw something about, there was a copyright, it wasn't even UMG. It was a copyright, now I'm saying UMG all in this video. UMG may be like, we're gonna put a copyright strike against you because you're mentioning our name. You're thinking of our name in your head. So we're gonna give you a copyright strike. I mean, that's not really how that works, but in this video, they were talking about the terms and conditions, and they put copyright strikes on their channel because they showed the terms and conditions on the screen. These companies don't want us to say anything about them. They don't want us to hold them to standards. They don't want us to have accountability in this music system. They want to be able to do whatever they want to do without any accountability, without any fair structure or say so or feedback. They just don't want that. I saw another video where they were talking about, and the title was UMG hit me with 10 copyright strikes. 10. Once again, that's already over the limit that YouTube already allows, right? And the biggest part of this is that in another video, they talk about, did Drake force UMG to take down all these channels? Because right now, the whole Drake lawsuit has triggered UMG to target a lot of reactors. We thought it was just about Kendrick and Drake. No, now it's feeding into a lot of different stuff, and it's impacting a lot of different people, right? Brad and Lex, they were a known music reactors. They were one strike away from losing their channel. One strike away from losing their channel because they did an Eagles reaction. DJ Ab McCree, he already started talking about this, right? He already started talking about UMG is going to be cracking down on hip hop education because it's going to be at risk. Because you think about it, we're talking about all these situations and issues and giving our thoughts and perspectives. Well, they are. I'm not. But giving their thought, well, in our podcast we do. Yeah, but we don't play any of their music. We're not actually using their content in our videos, right? And so that's something that I've tried to really stay away from because I just don't want no problems, like a lot of people are experiencing right now. Even well-meaning content with context or analysis is not safe. These YouTube bots and UMG enforcement moves are crazy. They want to move first and ask questions later. The YouTube system is automated. Labels like UMG and any other organization, they don't need to explain. They just hit a button, claim your revenue, or wipe out your entire video or your channel, even if it's under fair use. Even if it meets the definition of fair use, you still have to put up a fight. And that's the challenge. Fair use is not a shield. It's a defense that you have to prove, often against corporations with unlimited legal firepower. When you appeal a copyright claim or takedown on YouTube, which is so crazy to me, is that YouTube doesn't decide who's right or wrong. The appeal goes back to the person or company who filed the claim. So if UMG issued a copyright strike or a takedown notice and you file an appeal, it goes back to UMG. How is that? How can it go back to the person or persons or entity that made the claim? That is so crazy. That means the copyright holder gets to review your appeal. If that's me and I put up the copyright strike in your channel, am I going to approve the appeal? No. So YouTube doesn't have any part in that. It goes back to the person or entity that's making the takedown notice or issued the copyright strike, right? And in the case, if it is a DMCA takedown, if you do file a counter notification, they have 10 to 14 business days to either sue you or to let YouTube restore your video. The bottom line is YouTube protects copyright holders by default. And as a creator, you're the one who has to prove fair use. Is any reaction content safe? I actually never thought it was, which is why I never really did it, right? I mean, I'm using somebody else's content, a music video, a song, to make my content, and I'm reacting to that content, whether I like it or not, or whether it's used by educational or comedic purposes or a thorough breakdown. What if I don't like what you say in the video and it's my content? Then do I just say, hey, I don't like what you said? Am I going to be petty about it and say, I don't like what you said, so I need you to take it down? I'm going to issue a copyright strike because I don't like what you said? That's crazy to me that we operate in this type of world, because fair use has 4 factors that determine if your content is protected. Right, so here's number 1. Number 1 is purpose and character of use. Is it informative? Are you adding new meaning or value or commentary? Courts favor transformative use, which means you are changing the content's original purpose or meaning. And if you're just vibing with a track, you're nodding along, you'll be like, yo, that's dope, that's cool, yo, that's fire, I like how they said that, I like how they did this. That's really not transformative. And I don't know, they may go, it's not covered under fair use. I mean, now, if you're pausing, dissecting lyrics, talking music theory, breaking down the actual production, now you get into safer territory, right? There's actually a guy that I watched. He had Michael Jackson studio sessions, and he was actually breaking down every piece of the song, but from a very educational perspective. And I think that is how you have to do it. And you can't just go, oh, let's listen to this song, and that's dope. I like how they said that. Oh, hey, did you catch that line? Or, ooh, that was fire. Did you hear how he said that? I mean, go play the rest. that doesn't really cover fair use, my guy. Like, that's not how it is. We can't just take their content and make content, right? So I'm going to script the name, but as I was doing some research in the Hosenzadeh and Klein, I think that's how you pronounce the name. The court sided with these creators called Ethan and Hilla Klein, H3H3, because they didn't just react to the video. They roasted, they analyzed the video, they provided commentary, and the court said that that was fair use because they made it their own thing. And yes, you can still make money off of it and be protected, but only if you're actually adding value and not just re-uploading that video as is or with just a little context to it. There has to be way more than that. The next factor is the nature of the work. The more creative or entertainment focused it is, the more protected it is. Music, movies, and shows, these are all high risk. And this is what people use, right? These are all high risk. So these are the ones you always going to work against you. These are the ones that you always got to be leery about. You know, I actually thought about doing and I'm still kind of thinking about it, maybe not now with this whole thing going on. There's a series that I want to do, and it's using movies, but no audio from the movies. But it's me talk. I don't know. I want to give it away, but now I got to think about want to actually do that. Do I really want to do that? Do I really want to? Now all these things are happening, and of course, DMCA strike takedowns and copyright strikes aren't anything new. Now they have just been exploited in a way because of a lot of things that's happening, or that is stemming from Drake's lawsuit. And so now we got a lot of stuff that's taking place that we probably didn't think that we weren't thinking about. So that's why I always talk about music is probably not the safest thing to do reactions on. Think about how many people did a reaction to Kendrick's Not Like Us, right? I mean, you're actually playing with fire. And the reason why I'm saying you're playing with fire is because of all the drama that surrounded the song, especially when the lawsuit took place. And UMG, as an organization with a team of lawyers, is always looking out for their best interests. And if there's something that you're doing that's going to make something happen that brings them into a different light or cause them to be in jeopardy in some kind of way, they are going to now come out and enforce against that. I mean, music is always a high risk. I mean, if you're reacting to new releases, I mean, the courts have already viewed those as deserving heightened protection. I don't do them. I don't know. You just got to be safe about what it is. Now, I'm not saying don't do it, which is why I'm going through the 4 factors of how to use it in fair use. It is something that I've decided not to do personally because of situations like this. Number 3 is the amount that is actually used of the video or the song or the movie that you are using, right? So it's not just about the time, it's about what you use. If you grab the most iconic part of a song or movie, like the chorus or a powerful scene, even if it's just a few seconds, you may still get a hit because that's called the heart of the work. And that can still get you struck, even if it's just 10 seconds. I mean, let's say if you're reacting to Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You, you know that I will always love, the high part, I'm not singing it, but that high part that she always does, even if it's just 7 seconds of that, it could get flagged. And they could go, we don't want you using that. And they could issue a copyright strike against you. I mean, technically we are using copywritten music to do reactions on, but yes, you can use it from a fair use perspective, but there has to be things that you put in place. I mean, it could get, once again, it could get flagged because that's the moment that everybody knows. That's the moment that everybody tries to sing and that everybody is the most familiar with. It's the signature part of the song. You used the most emotional, most powerful, most recognizable part. And the court is going to see that as the heart of the song. So even short clips can still get you in trouble if it's the part people came there for. And lastly, number 4 is market effect. If your video replaces the need to watch or stream the original, that's a problem. Labels will say that you're costing them money, even if you're just reacting. But here's the catch. They can't claim that you're stealing money just for critiquing or doing a parody of something. There's no protected market for criticism. If your video clearly adds commentary, it's harder for them to prove that it's hurting their bottom line, which is why you want to put all these factors in there. The hard truth is you can do everything right, follow all these factors, and still get a copyright strike. YouTube's system is automated. Once again, it favors the copyright owners by default. Even if you fit all of the fair use criteria, they can still issue a DMCA takedown and it's still on you to dispute it. YouTube gives you 3 strikes, right? What? 3 strikes, and that's it. Your channel is done. Just once again, ask Brad and Lex. Ask Knox Hill, who are in jeopardy of losing their channels because of reactions, because pettiness. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, I get that it's copywritten material. I get that you're using something that is not your own. I get the fact that they put out content, music videos, a song, whatever the case is, and we are reacting to it. Do we not have the right to react to music and movies and give our commentary on it? I mean, people do. The issue is using the content in your video. Right? Like I did a whole video on native instruments and why I think native instruments are struggling. But nowhere in there did I use an actual native instruments thing, a commercial, a native instruments tutorial, whatever the case. That's the crazy thing. We're using their content. As long as we're being fair with it, it should be coming under fair use. But once again, you have to prove that it's fair use. And just because H3H3 won their case doesn't mean that you will. The court said that not all reaction videos qualify under fair use. So what can creators do in this particular situation? Well, number one is to be transformative, not just entertain. I mean, you got to pause frequently. You got to give in-depth commentary. You got to break down lyrics, vocal techniques, mixing choices, cultural context. I mean, you got to use pop-ups and on-screen graphics and subtitles to visually distinguish your thoughts from the original content. Number two, limit the amount of work that is being used. Use short, relevant clips. Don't use the heart of the song, right? But use short, relevant clips. Don't play the full song or the full scene, even if you comment. Maybe you need to edit it in a way that makes it obvious that you're not trying to reproduce the original experience. Number three, file counter notices when justified. So when UMG or any other company issues a DMCA strike, you have the right to file a counter notice if you believe your use is protected. I mean, with H3H3, when they did this, the court sided with them. When Brad and Lex also filed and had their content reinstated, but they took it down themselves, so they wanted to stay safe. And that's the thing, right? It's still been able to do this and still stay safe. Number four is ask permission to use licensed material. You want to play it safe? Reach out to independent artists. Many are going to grant permission. I can tell you a primary thing about this whole thing. So many of you know I do leadership in my regular job. I have over 25, now 26 years of experience in leadership development, organizational development, training, etc. Right? I was putting together a high-level leadership development program inside of an organization. And in that course, I wanted to talk about the stages of team development. And one of the best movies that shows you the stage of team developments is Remember the Titans, because it talks about how they went through the forming stage, right, all the way to the performing stage, etc. Right? So I personally, reached out, picked up the phone, called Disney. I researched and called Disney. I don't want no problems from Disney. I called Disney, got in contact with the licensing department at Disney. They asked me a whole bunch of questions, and I would say, here's what I'm going to use it for. And they said, is it going to be shown outside of the organization? No, blah, blah, blah. They gave me the written permission to use Remember the Titans in my leadership training program inside the organization. But I asked for permission. I called the company. Now, do you have to do that for every single reaction video? Do I got to call Kendrick and Drake and J. Cole and Pusha T and, and Kanye and Jay-Z and Taylor Swift and Beyonce and Rihanna and Teddy Swims and Jelly Roll? I'm just naming a whole bunch of people, right? Do I got to go through and contact every single person to be able to use it? You shouldn't have to, right? But I did it. I ain't want no problems with Disney. Do you have to? Maybe, maybe not. You want to play it safe? That may be a way to do it. I mean, you could use platforms like Licked or SongTrader that will license music for YouTube creators. I mean, granted, they're not like the most controversial songs, but at least it's licensed already and it's safe. I don't know. I'm just giving you some tips on how you can stay safe when it comes to fair use. Number five is to diversify your content. Don't rely only on reactions. Add tutorials, breakdowns, interviews, original content to reduce dependency on risky material. Once again, dependency on risky material. Once again, fair use isn't a shield. It is a defense you pull out after you get hit with one of these strikes. Labels aren't just mad that you're reacting they're actually scared. That's what I think. They're actually scared of being sued for what you're going to let slip through, a thought that you're going to let come through, right? I mean, just think about the whole Kendrick and Drake thing, right? This, because I believe this is how it actually started. That track had samples in it and it had references flying all over the place, right? Kendrick calling Drake stuff and blah, 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 right? It's a year later now and this stuff is still happening. And now it is a center of legal scrutiny. And so UMG is like, hey, if this reactor, this person who's going to play this do a reaction to the video, if they play this, and now it doesn't have to be specific to Kendrick and Drake, but let's say the sample wasn't clear on the song, or let's say that something that was said, like in the Kendrick and Drake thing, was shaky, right? Legally shaky. Could they be liable for it? Because you said something. And they're like, oh, no, we're not going to run that risk. And so what are they starting to do? They're starting to wipe out whole videos, whole channels of people saying something to protect themselves from these lawsuits, from sample clearance issues or brand damage, right? If you think about it, it really is risk management for them. You're not just a YouTuber to them, you're a legal liability because some of these reactors have actually been named in a lawsuit, in this Drake Kendrick lawsuit. Well, I keep saying Drake Kendrick. It's really not Drake Kendrick. It's Drake UMG, right? Kendrick just happened to be the catalyst or the centerpiece around what's happening, but it's really Drake UMG. And so UMG is going to try to protect their brand. And if you're saying something that involves Drake in this situation, UMG is going to be like, take that down. So if you're going to be in this game, you got to make your content transformative as hell. You got to keep your clips short and you got to know how to fight back. That means learning counter notices, understanding the law, and not just folding the second that they start to come for you. So here's the truth. Fair use isn't broken. It's just not made for platforms ran by automated bots and governed by billion-dollar labels, especially when that label, or whoever the entity is the person that approves or denies your appeal. To me, that's so crazy. How is that even possible? So if you're going to be in this space, you got to move smart. You got to be transformative. You got to use short clips, right? You have to. You got to add real commentary. You got to know your counter notice rights. Like your life depends on it, because your channel might. And I know a lot of you are making a living off your channel. I mean, Knox Hill has 1.54 million subscribers. I'm sure he's making a living off his channel. And if they take it away, what is he going to do? It's not for me to find out or figure out, but it's his reality, right? It's his reality. Now, we're just not reacting anymore. We're navigating a legal minefield. So you got to stay sharp. Protect your platform at all costs. And don't get caught slipping, because they are trying to come for all of the reactors out there. If this video hit home with you in any kind of way, right, drop a comment and tell me, have you been hit with a copyright strike even when you thought you were protected? It's crazy world we live in, right? When people can just say, I don't like what you're saying, here's a strike against you. So let's talk about it in the comments. And once again, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to stay updated. Share this video with someone that you know that does reaction videos. It just might be the video that helps save their channel. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and keep pushing the boundaries of music. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.